Now that Off the Grid has launched on Steam, I have a ton of new agents asking me, Stache, how can I buy and sell my Off the Grid nodes before they're live for trading on open marketplaces? Look, the smart money has been trading in the places I'm about to show you for months, and it's key to really making top dollar, and not only for nodes, but for in-game skins too. My latest intel report breaks down everything you need to know so you can buy or sell your OTG nodes now. It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stache here. We are at GIA headquarters, the gaming intelligence agency, always bring you the latest intel on the newest games. Today we're jumping all into Off the Grid and their nodes system. We are getting ready for all of the things that happen for Off the Grid. We have mainnet coming. We have console players coming to mainnet. We just had Steam launch, and we're looking forward to things like ranked mode coming pretty soon. And then later this year, we're going to see the full Battle Royale 60-hour campaign drop, and then full release towards the end of 2025. But one of the aspects that I get a ton of questions about here is about the node system. People are confused. They don't understand where they came from, what they do, or most of all, importantly, how to sell or buy those specific nodes, because they don't talk about it a lot in any of the channels that you see for Off the Grid or Gunzilla or the Guns Network. So today I'm going to show you guys some of the best ways to buy and sell nodes and some of the tips there, right? So what we're going to do is first we're going to go over an overview. What are nodes? What do they do? Why are they important? How you make money from them? Those are the big things, right? Then I'm going to show you where you can go to trade these nodes. And then also we're going to finish it up here with a little bit of notes on scams, because that's a big thing too. Don't skip that one. Don't skip over it. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, so just a quick overview here for people who don't know what nodes do in Off the Grid. So essentially, every time you grab a hex and you're decoding it, the thing that decodes that hex, right, that says, hey, okay, this is the item that's inside. I'm going to take the amount of gun that you paid, because every time you decode hex, you know you got to pay gun, right? 2 gun, 3 gun, 6 gun right now for the event NFTs that are going off, the hexes. And these validators are essentially the ones that are opening them for you and saying, all right, here's your new item. Brand new item on the blockchain now. So that's their basic function. So the way they work is, essentially you activate them, they're an NFT, and then you start receiving these rewards from players. But the opening for these actual NFTs, the validating of these NFTs or creation of these new NFTs is not the only way that you actually make money from the nodes, right? You get a small percentage of that fee, right? So if the fee is 6 gun, the node that opened that NFT or that hex for somebody is going to get a percentage of that, right? And that is essentially your reward as a node holder. But you also get residuals from resales. So if your node was the node that processed a transaction for a really high dollar item, maybe like a really rare item that they found in game, and then someone sells that item for 100,000 gun, you're going to get a good percentage of that in a resale money. So that's how you kind of make money from nodes. That's why they're important. Look, these things are the backbone to the ecosystem and the economy of Off the Grid. Without nodes, what is going to be the secure element that can randomly tell you exactly what you're going to get here when you open these things, and you can verify it? It's not like, oh, it's just pulling from some database that Epic Games owns, or that Valve owns for for similar for like CS:GO, right, or for CS, right? So that it's a backbone of the economy here for what's going on in Off the Grid, and it is also one of the only ways to get liquid gun tokens outside of the game. So when we talk about the actual gun tokens, the ones you earn inside the game just by playing the battle pass, etc., you cannot pull those tokens out ever. It's never going to change. That's never going to be the case. The only way to really earn gun token outside of the game is by owning a node. And you get it through little fees for decoding hexes and for resale value of some of the things you've decoded. So it is a big element of like, okay, well, they call it one of the primary play to earn components of the guns economy, and it really is. So that's why, kind of how they work, why they're important, and how you kind of make money from them. So you got to think about, obviously, the more players that are playing, the more hexes that are being opened, the more you're going to be making from that node. And I love that they're doing these new limited event hexes where, it's only for a couple weeks. and you got to find these special hexes in game, decode them, and they're higher transactions, right? So six, you like six gun per NFT there, which is great. And so right now you can tell there's only, when it comes down like the supply, there's only 10,000 of these nodes. They did a private sale a long time ago in 2022, 2023, up until almost 2024, but basically they never did a public sale. So that's why you don't just see them around. They're not on marketplaces like OpenSea or Magic Eden or any other place you can buy things like this. But you can still trade them. You can still trade the actual nodes back and forth. And, there's places to do that. So if you have a node already and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm not confident in what's going to happen. I don't feel like I'm getting enough fees, or I don't think that, Off the Grid is going to be a successful game. I don't know why you'd think that, but maybe if you did and you wanted to sell, there are places to do that. Or if you wanted to buy, you're like, man, I love what Off the Grid is doing. I want to get some of that node action, so I get some of those unlocked gun tokens. Some of the only ways that you can actually get gun token outside of some of these private sales they did, and those unlocks are not for a year almost. So, gun owners, node owners, are earning some of the only earners of actual liquid gun tokens out there. So yeah, only 10,000 of those ever issued. And then if you look at like some of the other things that a lot of people don't know, in addition to everything I just told you, having an NFT, like one of these validator NFTs, a node NFT, also allows it to have like some sort of guild features too. Now they kind of outline some of those things. I'm not going to go over it too much because a lot of these things are not really well laid out. This is like one of the only documents we have that says this stuff. So we don't have any real hard details on how they'll benefit guilds, but there is kind of a structure they have here in place of how you be able to, also benefit as a guild too. So a lot of benefits to nodes in general. Now that you kind of know a little bit about nodes, let's go take a look at where you can go to buy and sell these nodes, because that's the most important thing, right? The best place to buy and sell nodes for Off the Grid is in my Discord, the GIA headquarters Discord. That is my clan in Off the Grid, and where all my community hangs out. And, I'm not one to like toot my own horn all the time. Maybe sometimes. But this is the definitive place. I have made it that way on purpose since the beginning. We started off with a huge private chat for node holders only. Before we even had any kind of trading going on, I just wanted to get all the node owners into one chat so we could talk about node stuff. And so now we have like 100 something, plus large in node owners, and then a bunch of small guys who own like one or two nodes. But we have some of the top node owners in the entire game in our node chat. And then in addition to that, we actually have a specific special channel just for, trading NFT nodes. So if you want to buy or you want to sell, this is the premier place to do it. Anywhere that you wanted to look elsewhere online, it's not going to have the same volume or the same quality of buyers and sellers and the same quality of, somewhat trusted people, right? So we got a bunch of people in here selling, a lot of volume going through this. What I will say is that, there are other places you can trade. One of my other places that I feel like is fairly reputable, my friends over at Flaw Gaming. I'll put a link for theirs as well next to mine where you can go there. Maybe less volume, less people there, a little bit less people there, but still really great place, great clan, love those guys. And so it's another place you can go as well. But we're basically the original. We were the first channel to kind of have this kind of up and running so people could kind of, connect on their own and, make those sales, make those deals. So if you guys are looking for that, jump in the description below. I have a link there for my Discord, take you directly to the channel. We have a couple of trading channels actually. So we have this one that's specifically just for nodes. And you can see there's lots and lots of stuff going on here. People selling nodes every single day, buying nodes every single day. Lots of stuff going on. People you may know in here as well, which is great. We also have a marketplace channel as well for all the other stuff. So we have one just for nodes, and then one for anything else, right? So any of the in-game skins or things that you might be wanting to buy or sell, people are buying and selling in this channel, and kind of letting you know exactly what is kind of hot and popular too. So it's a good way to kind of like gauge that as well and see what prices are too. But the node channel is definitely the kind of focus here and the core. Now we have a lot of great people in the community. And I will say that no matter how many good people in the community and how trusted you think they are, there's always going to be some scammers. So when you take a look at this channel and you think, okay, this is great, no, it's an unregulated channel, completely unregulated. We don't moderate it in any kind of way. We're not trying to, make it safe. Nothing that, because it's impossible to do. So trying to do it just does not make sense. We do have people on the channel that are, people come to find are trusted third party, that can help you out with some of these deals. Myself sometimes can help out. Another one is Haji. He's another one of our officers who's done a lot of good deals. But we don't sanction these people. That's not their job. They're not there. I don't like guarantee that it's going to be a successful deal. So always take that with a grain of salt and keep that in mind. Now, just a little bit of talk about scammers here. Scams will happen. Even in my Discord, they've happened. I've been scammed. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight on what that looks like and what you need to be wary of, right? So the first thing I would say and what I've seen is that beware of someone that's selling that doesn't want to involve a third-party trusted middleman, right? If they don't want that and they're like, no, you send first and I'll send second, that seems like it would be pretty sketchy. If it's too good to be true and the price seems way too good and he's too eager, it probably is, and they're probably looking to scam you. Another thing I've seen with scams in these trading of nodes is people asking you to go to another Discord to trade. So they may come here into this one, say they have something for sale or wanted to buy something, and then when they get you in DMs, they're saying, okay, great, go here to this other Discord and we can trade there, and we'll use their trusted third party, and there's a guy there for sure. That is always a scam too. Big sign of that as well. Another thing you want to look out for too is account spoofing. I have not been scammed in crypto except for one time, and it happened just recently. I talked a little bit about this on Twitter or on X, and it was basically it came down to it was account spoofing. I got spoofed. I thought it was somebody. I was dealing with somebody else that I wasn't. I didn't do a good enough job checking that the account username matched the person I was supposed to be dealing with, and it didn't, and I got scammed, and it sucked. So that's something you really have to be careful of, is make sure the people you're dealing with are the people you're dealing with, and the third-party people you're dealing with, those are their exact same accounts. Make sure you check their name. And then last but not least, I will say another thing you want to look out is the node on testnet or is it on mainnet? Right now we're in this weird transitional period where some players are on mainnet and some players are on testnet, and that goes with their nodes too. Some may be on testnet still, and then the rest are on mainnet. So you want to ask that question and make sure it's not necessarily a scam either way. If it's on testnet, it will eventually be moved to mainnet, so it's not like you're losing anything. But you do need to be aware of that as well when you're trading. So all things to be on the lookout for when you're trading these particular nodes. I just want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to stay safe out there while you're trading, whether it's in my Discord or somebody else's, or whatever OTC platform you might choose. But these are some good tips and some good places to trade your nodes, buying and selling right now before OpenSea launches. All right, agents. Well, I hope that was helpful on a breakdown quickly of like how nodes work, why they're important, and then where you can trade them and what you should be wary of when trading these nodes, because you don't want to get scammed, right? So I want to make sure you guys stay safe out there, but you guys are still able to make all that money by buying and selling these nodes, or maybe just, like I said, holding for the long term and getting all those sweet, sweet residuals. That's what node ownership is all about. Let me know what you guys think about owning nodes, about NFTs and off the grid, buying and selling in these marketplaces. If you have experience there, I'd love to hear about your experiences in the GIA Discord, buying and selling too. Drop a comment below, let me know. That's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.